Hi guys, my name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to show you guys this specific piece. I decided to draw Mulan for the upcoming movie, live action movie of Mulan. So I'd say let's get on to the video. So the live action of Mulan, I have to admit, the first time that I've seen the cartoon version of Mulan was no longer than a few months ago at most. When I was younger, I wasn't interested in seeing Mulan. I didn't think it would be a movie for me. I didn't think I'd like it. And I never even tried. I don't know why, it's just a feeling that I had that I just did not want to see that movie. And then we got all the Disney movies for our daughter, and I was like, you know, surely I should watch Mulan and see if it's true that I really won't like it, or maybe I will like it and I was just being silly in the past. Now, I have to admit, I was just being silly in the past. I don't know why I didn't like it. I actually quite liked the cartoon version of this. So, after seeing the cartoon version of this movie, I wanted to make a character for the live action one. So this character is based on the actress that actually plays in the live action movie, and I wanted to, when I first came up with this idea, I wanted to have one like a sword in the middle and then one side of the face for like a soldier Mulan and the other side of the face really girly Mulan. And then that the sword would like separate the two of them because there's still one person, obviously. So that's what I went for here. And when I pitched this idea to my husband, he was like, surely this is already a poster for either the cartoon version or for the new movie. And I was like, no, you gotta be kidding me. No, seriously, like I just came up with this, surely it's not. And then I went browsing and I figured out that it actually was a poster for this, of course. So I decided to go ahead with this anyway because I did like my idea. I was totally set on it. I was inspired, and that is the important thing. If you're inspired, don't let anything stop you, and just put it on paper. And well, in this case I used my iPad for it. So that's what I did, and I am so happy with the result. When I finished the line art, I was so excited to start, and oh, I can't even tell you guys, like really excited to just get going with everything. I was really happy with the outcome of the line art. It looked pretty much exactly how I wanted it to look, and it just gave me such a good feeling, and I really like when that happens with art. I don't think that always happens. I think we as artists are really critical on ourselves and our products that we make, and this time I didn't have that. And of course I do have that at times, everyone kind of does, but for this one I was super excited. So when I started this, when I started coloring this, I had an idea in mind with what I wanted to do. So obviously both sides have a specific background to fill in, and for the left side I took that from the live action movie. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give a light blue background with, like, I tried to put in clouds in there but very subtle, so like the white pencil is what I used for it, and it is really subtle. As you can see, you can just see white blotches here and there, and I used the gray and the black to kind of make mountains, and then the white again to like try and pretend there's like clouds underneath the mountain. So I really wanted to try and see if I could like mimic that, and everything combined, I think it looks quite good. I'm really happy with it, and especially when I put the bird in the sky, even though it is so simple and it is not detailed because it's a figure, it's a silhouette. You don't see anything of the bird in the sky, and I just love it so much. It's a bird or it's a dragon, I'm not quite sure actually. So really happy with the background. I was actually impressed with myself, and as you've noticed, I've used pencils. So I think I'm at that point in my art where I'm hitting another development curve, I think the word would be. And that is that I think I should use pencils on top of my Copic markers and use that to help improve myself. So this artwork is where I really use that. I really utilize the pencils that I've got. And I've got 3 different kind of sets, really. I've got Derwent pencils. I don't have many of those, so the color selection is quite poor. I have, just checking this now, artist quality pencils. Now those are cheaper pencils. I got them when I made my destroy my pencil video, which I can link up above if you want to go watch that after. And I have Lyra pencils, and the Lyra pencils, I've tested them all 3, and I think those are the ones that I've liked the most. So those are the ones I'm actually using for this. And I just don't have the space for it. I am lacking space on my desk. My desk is so tiny, and maybe I should do a studio tour. Let me know below, guys, if you guys want to see how I'm actually working, because it's hilarious how tiny it is and how I have to set up things, really. But you do what you do, and I do what I can. So I use the pencils to try and help my drawings. And for the background, it really helped. I don't think I could have made this background with just Copic markers. So I'm really happy that I decided to do this. Then I worked on the hair, and when I looked at the reference picture of the soldier Mulan, she had a beautiful red outfit on, and her hair was like long and wavy when she was posing, or I think she was like in a fighting stance. So that's kind of what I wanted to portray here as well. I wanted to give her the long and flowy kind of hair on the soldier side. And as you can see, I'm working on one side only, and I'm kind of doing that on purpose for a few reasons. First of all, I'm right-handed, and it's just easier for me to work from left to right without smudging anything. So I kind of wanted to avoid that. So that is like one of the main reasons. And second, I kind of liked to finish this side first and then work on the other side later. So that's what I tried to do. Those are my reasonings behind my working order anyway. So for today, who knows, that could change tomorrow. But basic rules are the same. I really don't like to be smudging over my current artwork where it either can or can't smudge, I don't know, but yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So for the hair, I used brown as a base, and then I went over it with a neutral gray, I think that was number 9, and a black, which I think was 110. Now I've tried the 100 or 110. If you know your Copic markers, they're both black, but I put them both on paper, and I think I see a difference, but sometimes I don't see a difference, and I always forget which one is which. So when I just picked 110. I was like, sure, this is fine. And later on, I'll go over it anyway with the black pencil. So what I first did is, even though you can see the brown coming through the hair, and those are supposed to be kind of the highlights, I went over it with a white pencil as well. So the white pencil to me gives an extra layer of shine to the hair and just a bit more dimension in there. So I really like how that looks. It's like the brown with the highlight and then the white pencil on there as well. And I think that was a good move to make. So when I put the white pencil on there, I obviously also did the black, and I have to say it does make areas look much darker than they actually are, and I'm really happy I did that. So that's what I've done with the hair, and then I wanted to give shading to the rest as well. I really wanted to use the pencils as best as I could. So I used that for the face. I just made sure that her blush really stood out, that you could really see that, and that it was popping on the face, and that you could see the shading properly as well, because that can be quite tricky as well to keep with the markers, to have nice shading, and especially when you don't have all the colors yet. I just felt like with the pencils I could just make areas darker than they were, and I really think compared with just pure Copic marker art that this is a step up for me. I really like how this looks. Let me know what you think, guys. I really would like your opinion on this. Compared to my previous work where I didn't use pencils, do you like the work right here where I am using pencils? It just gives some extra shading to it, some more depth, and I just think it makes the piece look way more awesome, way more complete. And I have to say, the feeling I got from making this piece, even though it took me twice as long to color in because I used the pencils, I am so extremely happy with the outcome. I couldn't even tell you. Like, I do have issues with red, so I was a bit worried about how I was going to do this, but especially with the pencils, because I could use the darker pencils like the black and the dark brown to put in some extra shading, I felt like I can make red work, and I loved it. I really loved it. So it's absolutely amazing. I used it in a lot of sections. I used the black in her eyes as well because I felt like the browns I have weren't dark enough, and I wanted to make sure that her eyes were a bit darker than I could give them just with the Copic markers too. And when it comes to like her armor piece on her waist there, I used a black pencil as well, just to give some extra shading in those creases there. So that's what I've used the pencil for on the left side. I'm super happy with the outcome there. And now moving on to the right side, and just curious to hear as well, which one is your preferred side, or do you just like the piece as a whole? I like the piece as a whole. I like both sides, but I really like the left side because I love the long flowy hair. I know that's just me being a sucker for long flowy hair. I have long hair as well, but yeah, I really like that hair and the style and how everything just works out. And I love the right side too, don't get me wrong, especially when it comes to background piece in the end, guys. It's absolutely amazing. I love that it turned out that way. But I kind of went for the same tactic as I did with the left side here. So I colored in her skin tone. And at first I was like, oh, this is looking awful gray. And yeah, it does look awful gray when you just have the one color on there and you just have the white background and there's nothing else on there. So I used like, I think it's called stone something or something with stone in there. I used the lightest skin tone that I have on like the outside as well, so the shading areas, to actually make it seem as if like the white that was on her face is not going all the way to her hairlines and everything. And I put in the blush as well, and again I used the pencil to make sure the blush was like really popping out of her face there, that you could really see it. And I used a reference picture that I could find from the trailer as my inspiration for this, so that's why I based everything on, and that's why you see like the yellow patch on her forehead as well, and there's like red markings on there too, and obviously it's like half so you can't see the whole thing, but yeah, that's what I went for here. So really I'm happy with how it looks, and oh my, I can't even tell you guys how happy I am that I'm starting to use pencils with this. I think this was one of my better decisions ever, and maybe it's because I don't have enough colors for Copic markers. Oh, I'm just so excited. I just can't tell you guys. Unbelievable. I think this is like the piece that I just want to hang up everywhere and just admire. And I was really sad when I had to put this piece away in my folder because Copic markers are not light fast. So I have to scan this in and make sure that I can print this out, and maybe I will hang it up here. I think this is kind of like a mark for my channel and for my artwork, and I should, you know, celebrate that for myself. So I think I should do that. I should make a print out of this for myself and hang it up and look at it and say, yeah, that was like a turning moment again for my art, which is amazing. I love when I can see that in real time, and especially over the course of like a little over a year, where I could see this last year as well. Oh, I just love when it happens. I really do. And I was kind of wondering when it would happen actually, but yeah, that's what I did. So for her clothes, so the sash I actually found quite tricky. It's a lot of detail in the sash, and it's a lot of red again, obviously. And I kind of work with red on the left side a lot as well, but I really didn't want to go over like the areas that had to be a totally different color, because they're going to be in green colors, and red is so hard to try and get out if you go over a line. And because these details were so intricate and this is an A5 size piece, I felt like, yeah, I don't like this. So that's kind of how I felt. So luckily it wasn't too bad. I managed to do quite well, and I filled everything in with the green. So I know in the reference it's got more colors in there, but I was like, you know, I could try and do all the colors in there, but for this size I don't think that's going to work fairly well. So I just kept it where I was at and then colored in the rest. And for her clothes I used different colors pencils as well to make sure that the creases in her clothes were a bit darker, that the shading was like more like the left side of the art piece as well. So that really worked out, really happy with that. And then for the background I tried to make a blossom kind of tree. And I know it's not full enough, and I know you probably can't see it well enough on this video here, but when you actually move the piece back and forth you can actually see the pink and the glitter in there. So this was a glitter pen I got with a scrawler box before, so I used that to actually fill in everything and show you guys, or try and make a blossom tree. So that's what I did. And I'm using a brush marker as well to make the branches, and I'm really happy that I decided to go that route. I didn't want to, you know, fiddle around with like markers and everything to make those branches because they're way too tiny to do so. So that's what I went for there. I'm super happy with the outcome, guys. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments. I would really appreciate your feedback. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.